it's probably easier to make a video about this to explain it a little bit more than try to do a YouTube post since a lot of people might miss those. But once again, Artificial Night Sky, the 2.0 re-upload channel, was taken down. I got an email notification not too long ago, maybe within the hour, and I find it a little bit comical this time, but at the same time, it is of course frustrating, primarily due to the frequency this seems to be happening. Though I know exactly what's causing it, and I suppose it is partially my responsibility uh, for the second takedown, since I had the hope that perhaps editing down a lot of the almost entirely non explicit content, which was it was already non-explicit in Eternal Sunshine of the Javelous Mine and A Long Goodbye, to the duology, if you will, the Jav saga. I figured that if I edited down a lot of those footage along with the song, um, "The Nature of Dying" by Gorsha, I thought I perhaps could get away with something like pull a fast one under the eye of YouTube. But unfortunately, that wouldn't be the case. Uh, and I'm sure a lot of people probably would agree with me, but at the same time, I was knowingly tiptoeing on the edge there in terms of what might be allowed on YouTube based on their guidelines. And at the end of the day, I have to adhere to their guidelines, regardless of how biased they might be. Because the unfortunate truth of the matter is that, regardless of what I think or what you think, if there is any explicit sexual content, which even though I don't think there was, YouTube does have the grounds to decide that ultimately. And I actually think it's probably some sort of machine learning algorithm or something, considering how it probably flagged the same clip over and over again, which is why this time the channel was just straight up taken down without any warning. Um, so that was why that was taken down again, which is frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating, probably more so for you, anyone watching this than me, since me it's simply like re-uploading shit with my unfortunate crappy, like barely getting 8 megs up internet, which at the rate that based off like last time, it would probably take about a week to put everything back up. But I do feel a little bit bad about having the channel taken down again, because now I have to continuously make another video and be like, hey, the channel was taken down. Here's the new one. Here's 3.0 here again, 3.33. Uh, but unfortunately, like it's just gonna continuously play sort of a game of telephone where people who might have once like found something important won't be able to find it again. But I guess at the end of the day, a lot of YouTube videos are sort of vaporware as they exist naturally anyway, since um, there's not really a huge effort to preserve a lot of them. Hence why I've personally started to uh, archive a lot, uh, largely in part due to my own channel takedown, but also a couple other uh, incidents involving videos that I wanted but no longer exist. A lot to do with the Digi thing, but 100% if you have the hard drive space, archive shit, because you never know if it's going to be there the next day, depending on the whims of YouTube or the uploader or just the volatile nature of the internet in general. You can't really save a lot of things, and there might be something out there that's important to only you, and don't rely on anyone else to back it up for you, I guess. Um, but yeah, YouTube decided that the my last video that I posted on Artificial Night Sky 2.0, uh, the second season Zoku, if you will, somehow violated their guidelines. Um, I don't really feel like going into it too much. I just wanted to mention that's almost entirely the reason why that was taken down. I didn't even have to look at what the email really entailed. It just said I violated their community guidelines. That's really the only video that could possibly cause it. Um, but yeah, I guess regardless, I'm gonna make a 3.33 channel, and this time I'll play by the rules, YouTube. I'll be a good boy. I won't re-upload the jab video, which is unfortunate. That's the unfortunate thing. Um, I didn't really want to rant about it, but I guess at this point I end up going to anyways. That sentence was fucked, but um, not a lot of people have been put in a position similar to I have, depending on the type of content you're making. But like there really doesn't exist a platform, I guess, at this point for people to discuss uh like 18 plus content in a more liberating way, or at least like, for example, Eternal Sunshine of the Javeless Mind at this point it's been proven cannot exist on YouTube, so there's not really anywhere else I could put it besides YouTube alternatives like Odyssey, which I do have a backup of, which does serve its purpose, but ultimately reaches a very small audience, which I don't necessarily mind, but it like in most cases, but with Javeless Mind in particular, I sort of felt that uh, maybe warranted a little bit more fanfare, I guess, in terms of like the upload, and I went a little bit more hardcore in terms of editing that, making certain visual aspects and the branding for it, I guess. Um, and that was the entire reason I made the channel in the first place. And if it wasn't for that video, I probably wouldn't be making YouTube videos in the first place. And I definitely wouldn't be making an update video like this. It's just sort of difficult to find a place to share stuff like that. Um, especially when you're talking to a brick wall, which is the YouTube support. Like you could appeal to whatever, but I've appealed multiple times and nothing ever works. It's pretty much similar to appealing for copyright. That most of the time, like nothing will go through. Like they don't give a shit. They're just gonna not even read your appeal, and they're just gonna continue to uphold their initial decision, since there's not really much you can do about that. Um, but I guess at the end of the day, I hope that enough people saw Javeless Mind that they could uh, remember it, I guess. And if they want to rewatch it, it's on Odyssey. I also have a mega folder with that. Um, a 3.33 coming soon. I just have to re-upload everything, I guess. And be a good boy.